Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 102 of our stay-in-place order here in Mendocino County. It's going to be a nice day. It's only a little over 64 degrees outside. Wow. So we're up to 83 cases in the county. And again, I'm going to repeat myself. It's not about dying from COVID. The chances of dying from COVID are very slim, but it's having to go through all the symptoms. I don't wish that on anybody. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. The fevers, the whole thing is absolutely horrible. It's be the worst flu you've ever had. And I don't know about you, but I don't wish that upon anybody. So got a little controversial yesterday. There was a couple of videos that I shared that I only share videos if it touches me. And the first one I shared yesterday, and we talked about it yesterday, was the little old lady and the old man out in the street being yelled at and saying, "Nazis, get off our streets." Come to find out, that was actually filmed in Canada. I'm going to repeat myself, Canada. George Floyd died in the U.S. So the Canadians are all up in arms about, equal rights too. And so that got to me looking around a little more. And they're taking down statues. There is this problem. Not only could we have COVID all around the world, now we have these protests that have sprung up all around the world, and they're taking down statues in Venezuela and other countries. So this negative hatred, it's spreading like the virus. Absolutely spreading like the virus. And it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary to a lot of, protest is protest, but violence and disrespect is completely separate. And I shared a video yesterday late afternoon that just disturbed me very bad. Probably the worst videos I think I've ever been disturbed by on Facebook. And it was a little old lady. "Hey, Paula, how you doing?" She wasn't an old lady. Okay, she was, I don't know exactly how old, but she wasn't elderly. But she was definitely a little heavy set. And she was in one of those, electric scooters. Obviously couldn't walk very well. Definitely was incapacitated to a certain degree. And she was a white woman. And these black women I had to have been in the middle of looting. I don't know the whole story, but it had to be in the middle of the looting because she was pushing a shopping cart with her lark, and they were pulling the cart away from her, and they were beating her, literally beating her with their fists, and then they sprayed her down with a fire extinguisher, and then they shoved her up against a wall and kept on beating her. And I was appalled. Just literally, I can't believe why isn't this on the news? Why aren't these scenarios on the news? These are the ones that are going to make people open their eyes and stop what they're doing. And it's just, good morning, Susan. How you doing? And I'm just tired of it. I think I'm going to just back down from Facebook because I can't take it. I can't take it anymore. The idiots with the freaking guns in Minneapolis. I'm just nice, good memes. There's some pretty good memes going around with that one. But I can't take it. As it is, we're on an upward curve. Last Friday, our country had 13 states on an upward trend. Yesterday morning, we were at 38 states on an upward trend. Why? Because people just can't stay freaking home, or wear their freaking masks. I'm past the political. If you're for Trump, you don't wear a mask. If you're against Trump, you do wear a mask. That's where the bullshit needs to stop, right there. Because if our president cannot lead his country, not think about himself in his reelection. Screw your reelection, dude. We need you to lead. We need a leader. We need somebody to come out and say, wear your masks. And everybody probably wear their masks. But he's too freaking hard-headed to do that. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. They're making us fight amongst each other. They're purposely doing this. They're purposely making us fight against each other to hide some agenda. There's something going on that we don't know about. We don't know, and when we find out about it, it's going to be too freaking late. Let's see what Paula says here. I feel like the world's full of... It is. Hate, scrutiny, judgment. I deactivated my Facebook a couple of weeks. I found more. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to... I'm backing down from Facebook. I can't... I did yesterday a little bit in the end, but as soon as I got back on it, here it all comes back at me. You know, I'm more on Twitter now, just because I need the news, and Twitter seems to be a little bit more the news that you can trust a little bit better. You know, even though you got CNN, you got all those, but you know, and what? Oh my God, what the president tweets is like, how are you rich? How possibly could you be rich? So, you know, I'm going to back off Facebook. No good comes out of it. No good is coming out of it in my mind. Now that we're trending upwards again, I'm starting to feel the anxiety, like I had in the very beginning. In the very beginning of this, I had a lot of anxiety about, you know, not dying. But now that we've gotten into the COVID thing a little bit further and we understand it a little bit more, and we know the infection rates, we know what was causing certain things, we know it's there. I saw an interview yesterday with an older gentleman. He was a doctor. He was a retired doctor. He was probably in his 80s. And he was talking about when they had polio, when the polio scenario was going on. Down back in the 20s and the 30s. He was a small child, and when polio was a pandemic, there's still maybe a few cases left in the world. I mean, the Rotary Club is reluctantly trying to handle that, but it became just social. You know, the society just changed. Society adapted to not going to the movies theaters, which they had movie theaters. Not going to the state fairs, not going into public gatherings, not taking your children, but, you know, and it wasn't so much that you had to wear a mask at that time for polio. In 1918 you did. But they just adapted. But why? Leadership in Washington and the courthouse and your mayors were leading by example. We're showing you what you need to do and how you need to act and what's the next step and keeping you informed and society just adapted to it. I mean, you know, you didn't take your children out in public. You didn't. You know, they were homeschooled and so I mean, we can do it. It's happened. 1918, you know, face masks were required for almost 2 years. Face masks were required from 1918 to 1920. In Willis and Ukiah. Whether you want to believe that or not, it was. I've seen the literature. Okay, they banned the fairs, they banned dances, they banned the rodeo, they banned a lot of things just because to keep people from spreading of the Spanish flu. Here we are. For public safety, you have to wear your mask. You know, you don't have to wear your seatbelt, but what happens if you don't? What happens if you ride down the street on your motorcycle without a helmet on? You can't go into a restaurant without shoes and shirt. It's just common decency. Don't make it political. There's no reason to make it political. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Hey, Viv, how's it going? Tristan, what's up, buddy? Lisa, what's up? If you're still there. But, enough of the hatred. I can't take any more. The riot, the stuff that should be on the news is not on the news. We have Washington who's not giving us any good leadership. Here we are, day 102. COVID cases are definitely on the rise. California is definitely looking at going backwards. We opened up way too early. And I think now that if we go backwards, we know what we can open and what we can't open. I really don't think that the spread of COVID is coming from people walking around out in the woods or, on their, going jet skiing. It's large gatherings, outside the family unit. And once you're inside the family unit, that's where it needs to stay. You need to keep your distance. And when you're standing in Costco, talking to your friend across, there, you might be 6 feet apart, but don't pull your mask down and talk. That's when you need to have your mask on, is when you're talking. Not when you're just walking around looking at stuff. I mean, you need to, then too, but, or don't wear it here. No here. It's just, I understand they're hard to breathe. Man, they kill me. I hate them. I freaking hate them. I just want to rip it off my face before I get back to the car. But I do it because I love everybody. Anyways, all right. So, yeah, they're not taking it seriously. Until somebody gets sick in their household and they all have to quarantine for 14 days and can't even leave. Yeah, that'd suck, wouldn't it? All right, guys. So, hey, I've had enough. That's enough ranting and raving. Let's try to stay positive. Let's try to stay off the hatred. Let's taper off Facebook a little bit. And I'll tell you all tomorrow morning how I did. So, there you go. Elbow bump. Live long and prosper. Stay home. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Wear your mask because it's mandatory. Stay at home. Stay away from people. Don't tear down any monuments. And we're not even going to touch that subject. So, everybody, peace out. I love you.